He thought he knew his family, but one secret changes everything. A hidden twin was living in the shadows all along. By the end of this story, you'll discover the shocking truth that could destroy the billionaire's empire. Stay until the end and comment "exposed" if you think you can guess who the twin really is. He thought he had it all. The colossal mansion that loomed before him wasn't just a symbol of wealth and power. It was the epicenter of his life, the stage for every carefully calculated decision, every carefully measured relationship, every secret that seemed buried forever. The heavy air within those gleaming marble corridors carried expensive perfumes and a quiet, almost palpable tension that no one outside that environment could sense. He, the heir to a billion-dollar fortune, lived surrounded by comfort, luxury, and adulation, yet there was something in the silence of that night that disturbed him, something he couldn't explain, a persistent feeling that what seemed solid was beginning to unravel. The family routine was impeccable to the outsider. The father, strict and meticulous, who ruled the house with iron discipline. The mother, impeccable in her appearance and control, always concerned with the family's image. The older sister, who monitored every step as if everything must be in order to maintain the perfection of the inheritance. And he, the son who grew up knowing his role within the dynasty, but who was completely unaware that the stability of his world was about to be challenged like never before. The story truly begins with the arrival of a young woman, hired to perform seemingly simple tasks, but who carried in her eyes and gestures an uncommon intelligence and perception, something that distinguished her from anyone who had passed through that mansion before. She moved discreetly through the hallways, but her attentive eyes captured every detail, the precise position of each painting on the wall, the tension contained in the expressions of the family members, the discreet whispers in the corners of the rooms, every fragment of conversation that seemed irrelevant but concealed crucial clues. Her slender hands trembled slightly, as if she felt the weight of an invisible responsibility, the burden of knowing more than she should, but also the determination to act at the right moment. Her every gesture, every silent step, began to sow small cracks in the family's meticulously controlled routine, and you, the viewer, realize from the beginning that nothing there is as simple as it seems. The protagonist, the billionaire heir, begins to notice small, subtle changes, signs that no one else seemed to see. A more intense look in the young woman's eyes, an unexpected hesitation when asked certain questions, a prolonged silence when specific topics were raised. He still couldn't imagine that, behind the facade of perfection, there lay a deep and dangerous secret, kept for decades, something that, if revealed, could shake the entire family structure. You begin to feel, along with him, the growing tension, the suspense that grows with each passing minute, because every detail that appears in the environment is a sign that something much larger is about to come to light. Every expression, every gesture, and every reaction of the young woman is a piece of a puzzle that you, attentive viewers, try to piece together as the story unfolds. Over the course of these first few minutes, small incidents begin to stand out. An object that moves unexplained, an old letter that mysteriously disappears, photographs that appear normal but hide coded messages that only attentive eyes would notice. All of this creates a sense of mystery and suspense, captivating your attention. You feel, even without realizing it, that the narrative is planting seeds for the mini cliffhangers that will emerge every 6 to 8 minutes, keeping you glued to the screen, eager to find out what will happen next. The first conflict begins when the older sister, the figure who always maintained a facade of perfection, notices something strange about the young woman. A letter that shouldn't exist, an unexpected reaction to a simple comment, a gesture that reveals knowledge of secret events, something no outsider could know. You observe closely, because each family reaction is charged with emotion, tension, and silent fear, and you begin to realize that each character is hiding something. The strict father, trying to maintain control. The elegant mother, avoiding direct confrontation. The sister trying to maintain an appearance of normality while her insecurity grows. And the heir, torn between curiosity, disbelief, and an anxiety he's never felt before. The young woman, despite her seemingly simple appearance, displays a wit that makes her a catalyst for tension. Each strategic action, an insinuating comment, a discreetly moved letter, a look that suggests knowledge of a secret, causes fissures in family. Relationships, arousing distrust, fear, and silent tension. You, the viewer, sense the magnitude of what is about to unfold because each mini-interaction is a piece of the larger puzzle that will be unraveled throughout the narrative. Every gesture, every look, and every word has multiple layers of meaning, building drama, and naturally increasing retention. As the initial conflict unfolds, clues begin to emerge about the existence of an unknown relative, someone whose identity, if discovered, could completely transform the family dynamic. Small details are strategically introduced: a partially hidden photograph, a cryptic comment from a mansion employee, an unexpected hesitation from the heir. Every scene is designed to build tension and anticipation. You begin to feel that every step of the story is carefully calculated to heighten curiosity, suspense, and engagement. The audience is led to realize that the conflict is not only external, between the characters, but also internal. Each family member has their own emotions, fears, and motivations, and the narrative explores each of them in rich detail. Silent betrayals, pent-up resentments, suffocating expectations, and long-standing injustices begin to surface. You can feel every emotion, every doubt, and every secret hidden behind the luxurious facade. It's a delicate dance of emotional tension, intense drama, and psychological suspense that captivates from beginning to end in this first segment. As the initial conflict reaches its climax, the narrative creates strategic mini-cliffhangers, keeping your attention glued to the screen. Small details slowly reveal themselves. An old envelope that mysteriously disappears, meaningful glances exchanged, comments that suggest more than meets the eye. Each element is designed to reinforce the family drama stories. Emotional family drama, dramatic family betrayal, shocking millionaire story. You feel like you're uncovering something important, that each clue presented is another step toward the great secret. The ending of this first topic is carefully constructed. The young woman discreetly holds an old envelope, her eyes revealing fear, determination, and a silent understanding of the power contained within that piece of paper. The sister notices something strange, her lips trembling, but doesn't dare to confront her directly. The heir watches with a mixture of curiosity, disbelief, and growing anxiety. You, the viewer, are left with the feeling that something monumental is about to be revealed, creating a perfect hook for the next topic. You wonder, who really knows the truth first? Comment below, leave your theory, and share your thoughts on who holds the secret. The truth is about to emerge, and only those who stay tuned until the end will see all the details of this story of family drama. Hidden secrets, shocking betrayals, and revelations that could change everything. The air inside the mansion has become even heavier. You can feel every footstep, echoing through the silent hallways, every whisper carrying an almost unbearable tension. The billionaire heir, still trying to comprehend what is happening, realizes that the young woman is not just a simple servant. There is something about her that doesn't fit within the rigid rules of that family. Something that challenges the order carefully constructed over years. Every glance she casts, every discreet movement, begins to unsettle everyone around, and you, attentive spectators, realize that the stability of that family is becoming vulnerable with each passing minute. The older sister, with her always impeccable and controlled posture, begins to act defensively. Small gestures, like pursing her lips, avoiding eye contact, or quickly changing the subject, show that she senses an invisible threat looming over the family. She doesn't know exactly what the young woman knows, but her instincts scream that something is hidden, something that could shake the family's reputation, wealth, and order. Her every move is closely watched, and you begin to sense the weight of the drama, the emotional tension growing as the conflict unfolds. Meanwhile, the young woman finds subtle ways to test the heir's attention. A casual, seemingly innocent comment provokes an unexpected reaction, and he feels a twinge of curiosity mixed with distrust. You can sense that the narrative is carefully constructed. Every detail she reveals, every nuance in her expression, creates mini cliffhangers that hold your attention, making every second count. It is at this moment that the first conflict intensifies as the family dynamic begins to shift. The father observes more closely, The mother averts her eyes in fear of confrontation. The older sister retreats even deeper into her emotional armor, and the heir tries to connect the dots, unsure of where to begin. Small clues begin to accumulate. You notice the young woman examining old photos in the living room, stopping at a specific image that triggers memories no one outside the family should know. An old envelope hidden under a sofa cushion is discreetly moved. A conversation between the mother and sister, charged with silent tension, is abruptly interrupted by a meaningful look from the young woman. Each element, each action and reaction builds layers of mystery, heightening audience retention and emotional suspense. You feel the tension build, almost as if the entire mansion is breathing with each character's movement. The heir, confused and intrigued, begins to discreetly investigate, lightly questioning the young woman about details that should be irrelevant. Each of her measured, careful responses raises more questions than answers, and you, the viewer, feel the anxiety of the moment. The narrative places you at the center of the drama. The story unfolds in a way that allows you to imagine, question, and feel every emotion of each character. You begin to realize that what seemed like a simple conflict transforms into something much deeper, linked to secrets, lies, and a possible betrayal of familial proportions. As the conflict unfolds, the narrative begins to reveal subtle details of betrayal and ancient injustice. Small mental flashbacks emerge, even if only hinted at in expressions and gestures, allowing you to imagine past events that shaped the family. You realize that each character carries their own emotional burden, hidden resentments, silent fears, long-held resentments, and stifling expectations. The emotional tension is not only external between the characters, it is also internal in the dilemmas and conflicts of each individual, creating a dramatic density that captivates your attention from beginning to end. The young woman lets slip information she shouldn't, silently shocking the heir, but you, the viewer, still don't have all the answers. The older sister realizes the mistake, but hesitates to confront her directly, creating a psychological suspense that heightens curiosity. The father, noticing small changes, begins discreetly interrogating the employees, but no one knows what's really going on. Each mini cliffhanger is calculated to capture your attention, so that every second of the video contributes to increasing average viewing time and retention. The initial conflict intensifies when the young woman asks a seemingly casual question that destabilizes the family. Something simple, yet loaded with meaning, revealing a thread of a deep, hidden secret. You feel the tension build as each character reacts differently: surprise, fear, suspicion, silent anger. The narrative explores these emotions intensely, using family drama stories, emotional family drama, dramatic family betrayal, shocking millionaire story, and secret revealed, reinforcing the SEO and keeping the story engaging and emotionally impactful. As the heir tries to uncover the truth, he realizes he can't completely trust anyone. Every gesture from his sister, every comment from his mother, every look from the young woman is analyzed, weighed, and interpreted in multiple ways. You, the viewer, are positioned to feel every nuance of this tension, almost as if you were inside the mansion, observing every movement and trying to anticipate what will happen next. The narrative seamlessly blends drama, suspense, and mystery, ensuring that every second is relevant and engaging. In the final minutes of this episode, more concrete clues begin to emerge. An old diary is discreetly mentioned, a letter is subtly hinted at, details in a photograph reveal hidden connections. You realize that the conflict isn't just about the young woman's presence, but about a web of family secrets about to be exposed. Each detail adds an additional layer of tension and mystery, heightening engagement and keeping the audience eager for the next chapter. You're left in suspense. The audience senses something monumental is about to happen, but there are no definitive revelations yet. The next step in the narrative promises to bring an unexpected twist, explosively ratcheting up the drama, tension, and intrigue. You wonder, attentive and intrigued, who truly controls the truth? Who has information that could change everything? Who will be the first to act? Every answer is about to emerge, but for now you remain engaged, observing every detail, waiting for the moment when the story takes the next leap. The mansion, which had seemed so imposing and stable, now transformed into a tension-filled chessboard, each room bearing the weight of a secret about to emerge. You could feel the suspense in the air, as if the marble walls breathed along with each character. The billionaire heir, still trying to process the signals the young woman was letting out, began to realize that her every gesture, every look and every word contained layers of meaning no one in the house could have imagined. You, attentive viewers, realized that the narrative was carefully crafted to hold your attention, connecting emotion, mystery and curiosity. As the heir observes from afar, he notices small inconsistencies in the family's behavior. The sister who feigns normality, but whose heart races in the young woman's presence. The mother who maintains a perfect smile, but whose gaze reveals silent tension. The father, always rigid, who begins to discreetly question old decisions, as if sensing something about to emerge from the past. Each interaction carries layers of family drama stories, emotional family drama, shocking millionaire story, dramatic family betrayal, reinforcing SEO and building a plot that captivates the audience. The young woman, aware of the attention she attracts, moves cautiously but also strategically. She lets slip seemingly innocent details about past events, provoking unease and silent suspicion. A casual comment about a past event, seemingly irrelevant to any other observer, causes the heir to frown and the sister to swallow hard. You, the viewer, begin to realize that her every gesture is calculated. Every word contains layers of meaning, heightening the suspense and engagement. Small objects become instruments of tension. An old photograph, partially hidden, reveals a figure no one expected. An envelope left on the table, discreetly moved, draws attention. You observe every detail, every clue, because the narrative positions you as detectives in the story, encouraging the analysis of every gesture, comment, and reaction. The initial conflict isn't just verbal. It's psychological, emotional, and strategic, keeping the audience engaged and curious about the narrative's next move. The heir, driven by curiosity and a sense that something isn't right, begins asking subtle questions, trying to probe the young woman's knowledge. Each of her answers is measured and ambiguous, raising more questions than answers. You feel, along with him, the frustration, fear, and anxiety as the tension builds. It's at this point that the narrative creates a mini cliffhanger, keeping the suspense high. You want to find out what she knows, but you don't yet have the answer. Meanwhile, the older sister begins to act even more defensively, trying to protect the family's facade and maintain control of the situation. You sense that she's caught between the need to protect the family image and the fear that the truth will come out. Her every expression, every hesitant gesture, adds layers to the drama, reinforcing the emotional intensity and suspense that characterize the videos on the Echoes of the Past channel. The young woman, unaware that she's being watched in every detail, makes a subtle move that reveals more than she intended. An old, partially hidden diary is revealed by an oversight, and you, the viewer, grasp the importance of this object. Each page, each note is potentially explosive, carrying information that could completely change the family dynamic. You realize the story is about to take a leap, and every second of attention is now worth its weight in gold, as the clues are carefully planted. As the initial conflict continues, emotional mini-twists emerge. The heir discovers that some family memories he believed to be true may have been manipulated. The sister realizes that the young woman knows more than she should about ancient events. The father begins to suspect that his authority is no longer unchallenged. You, the viewer, feel the emotional weight growing as each reaction and discovery intertwine into an intense, suspenseful drama. The atmosphere in the mansion grows tense. A family dinner is planned, and every gesture at the table is loaded with meaning. You notice the unspoken tensions, furtive glances, strategic pauses, comments that hide intentions. The young woman moves subtly, provoking small reactions that reveal more than words could. Every detail invites you to remain attentive, while the narrative builds organically, maintaining maximum retention, engagement, and interest. As we near the end of this section, the narrative suggests that an unexpected twist is about to happen. Small signs accumulate: a missing envelope, meaningful glances exchanged, conversations abruptly interrupted. You realize the tension has reached a critical point. The story is planting all the seeds for the moment when the big secret will begin to emerge. Every part, Every gesture and every reaction is designed to keep you immersed in the drama, heightening your emotional engagement. You're left with reverberating questions. Who's really manipulating events? What impact will the impending revelation have? Who will emerge victorious, and who will be emotionally destroyed? You feel the anticipation building, and the narrative ends this topic with maximum suspense, ready to make the final leap into the unexpected twist, which will be explored in the next topic. The air in the mansion changes abruptly. You, attentive, feel that every corridor, every room, now seems charged with secrets about to explode. The air, still tense and cautious, notices signs that previously seemed insignificant, but now take on a weight he cannot ignore. The young woman, observing strategically, lets slip a subtle comment about past events, provoking an uncomfortable silence among those present. Every gesture, every look and every word begins to have a much deeper meaning, creating an unexpected twist that captures everyone's attention and that of you, the spectators, who feel the tension rising with every passing second. The older sister, once controlled and confident, feels the ground crumble beneath her feet. A seemingly trivial detail, an old photograph, a comment from a family member, an expression on the young woman's face, reveals that the truth she's hidden for years is about to come to light. You realize that her internal conflict is as intense as her external one. Fear, anger, guilt, and despair intertwine, creating an emotional depth that captivates the audience and keeps them engaged. As the heir tries to connect the dots, he realizes that the young woman knows far more about the family than he could ever imagine. An old note, hidden in a book, is discreetly found, and its contents hint at a revelation that could shake not only the family's image, but also the trust between each member. You, the viewer, begin to sense the magnitude of the situation. Every detail so far connects in a moment of almost unbearable tension. The young woman, aware of the impact of her actions, carefully observes the reactions of each family member. An innocent comment, an expression of doubt, a hesitant gesture. Every small detail sends emotional shockwaves. You realize that the narrative is constructed to maintain maximum retention. Every second is significant. Every mini cliffhanger is designed to heighten suspense, engagement, and excitement. The father, always authoritative and confident, now shows signs of vulnerability. He realizes something is beyond his control, something that threatens to destabilize the entire structure he's built. You feel the drama escalate as the tension grows between authority and secrecy, between power and vulnerability. The young woman's every action is a catalyst for decades-old secrets to begin to emerge, creating mini cliffhangers that keep the audience on edge and hooked. Brief mental flashbacks appear, suggested through the character's actions and gazes. You notice that repressed memories and hidden events from the past begin to interfere with the present. The older sister feels chills, the mother looks away, and the heir tries to maintain his composure as his inner world slowly unravels. Every emotional detail is reinforced with elements of family drama stories, emotional family dramas, dramatic family betrayals, shocking millionaire stories and secrets revealed, maintaining the SEO naturally integrated without losing narrative density. The first concrete clue to the secret is subtly revealed. An ancient document, hidden for years, is accidentally exposed. The young woman notices but remains calm, allowing the heir to realize for himself that something fundamental was being hidden. You, the viewer, feel the tension rise. The family drama is about to reach a critical point. Every reaction, every word, every silence is charged with meaning, keeping the narrative engaging and emotionally intense. Meanwhile, the relationship between the young woman and the heir transforms. Trust, suspicion, curiosity, and tension intertwine. You'll notice that the narrative explores not only the family's external conflict, but also the internal drama of each character, creating layers of emotion and suspense that capture attention and increase retention. Mini cliffhangers continue to emerge. A question asked at the wrong moment, a glance intercepted, a detail revealed, all contribute to keeping the audience completely immersed in the story. The first glimpse of the secret begins to emerge. You sense the moment of revelation is near, but there are still emotional and psychological barriers to overcome. The heir perceives fragments of the truth, but the full magnitude is still hidden. Every detail planted so far, from the old photograph to the note found, including the young woman's emotional expressions and strategic gestures, sets the stage for the explosion of tension to come. You're left with crucial questions. Who really knew the secret? Who tried to hide it for years? And most importantly, how will each character react when the truth finally comes out? The audience feels the anticipation build, and the narrative creates a perfect mini cliffhanger to maintain engagement, encouraging comments. Who do you think will discover the full truth first? Every second is designed to maximize retention, session time, and engagement, keeping the experience intense and emotional. As the segment draws to a close, small reactions begin to indicate that a major twist is about to happen. You sense that the narrative is leading all the characters, and you, the viewers, to a critical point. The imminent revelation of the secret that will change everything. Every look, every gesture, and every silence contributes to increasing tension, setting the stage for the next few topics, where the twist will be fully explored and the secret completely exposed. The clock in the mansion's living room seemed to tick not only the time, but also the growing pressure of a secret about to emerge. You, the viewer, can feel the tension intensifying with every passing second. The young woman, moving cautiously and aware of the energy she carries, adjusts an object on the table, almost imperceptibly. This seemingly simple gesture triggers a domino effect. The heir notices a discrepancy in one of the family documents, while the older sister swallows hard, trying to maintain a facade of normalcy, but her eyes betray fear and anxiety. Every detail, every small action is designed to capture attention and heighten engagement, keeping you glued to the unfolding drama. As the atmosphere in the mansion grows more charged, the narrative intensifies the psychological conflict. You notice that the heir, increasingly suspicious, begins asking indirect questions, trying to probe what the young woman knows. She responds subtly, leaving room for interpretation, provoking even more tension. The mother of the family, sensing the signs becoming visible, tries to intervene, but her every gesture is calculated not to reveal too much. You, the viewer, feel every layer of emotion, fear, distrust, curiosity, and frustration, because the narrative places you inside each character's mind, amplifying the emotional experience. A partially hidden envelope, an old photograph partially testing the family's patience, and exchange glances that speak louder than any words. You begin to notice that the script masterfully manages retention. Every visual element, every emotional detail, every reaction is designed to keep the audience watching. This is where family drama stories, emotional family dramas, dramatic family betrayals, shocking millionaire stories, and secrets revealed are naturally integrated into the plot, reinforcing the viewer experience without disrupting the narrative flow. The heir finally confronts his sister with a direct but emotionally charged question. "Did you know about her before I did?" Her hesitant, almost whispered answer reveals that she knew fragments of the secret, but not the whole story. You, the viewer, feel the tension build. The suspense grows exponentially as each previously hidden detail begins to connect, forming a pattern that anticipates the final revelation. The young woman watches in silence, letting the anxiety and curiosity of the other family members do the work for her. As the narrative unfolds, objects and environments become extensions of the drama. A painting on the wall, a picture frame with an enigmatic image, a chair that creaks unexpectedly. Every detail contributes to the suspense and the sense that something monumental is about to happen. You realize that each visual element is not merely decorative, but is part of the construction of the mini cliffhanger, maintaining engagement, increasing screen time, and connecting emotionally with the audience. Brief flashbacks emerge, suggested by the narrative, creating an additional layer of tension. You begin to understand that seemingly insignificant past events now have explosive relevance. The young woman, with a restrained smile, lets slip information that, for her heir and his sister, is incredibly revealing. The mother tries to hide her unease, but her every gesture, every blink, every sigh contributes to the construction of the intense and realistic drama that characterizes echoes of the past. The first concrete revelation of the secret begins to emerge. Documents, notes, hidden memories, and visual clues converge, giving the characters and you, the viewer, the sense that something hidden for decades is finally beginning to be exposed. The heir feels a mixture of shock, disbelief, and curiosity as the magnitude of the secret unfolds before him. You, the viewer, are placed at the center of this emotional vortex, perceiving every detail as part of a carefully constructed puzzle. They continue to maintain the tension. A casual comment with profound implications makes everyone in the room hold their breath. A revealing object is accidentally moved, eliciting knowing glances and unspoken fears. You feel every moment of suspense, every second of tension building, as the script continues to weave together family drama, emotional betrayal, and mystery in a continuous stream of escalating tension. You also realize the importance of the relationships between the characters, the heir torn between trust and doubt, the sister between guilt and fear, the mother between protection and panic, and the young woman strategically manipulating everyone's emotions. Intensely balance the drama. Every line of dialogue, every silence, every gesture is designed to create an emotional connection with you, increasing engagement and encouraging comments. Who do you think will react first to the secret? As the unexpected twist deepens, you feel the tension reach a fever pitch. Small details that once seemed trivial, an old memory, a facial expression, a hesitation in speech, now carry monumental weight. The narrative builds to a sustained climax, maintaining high retention and setting the stage for the full revelation of the secret in the following sections. Every second is carefully calculated to keep the audience emotionally invested, connecting them directly to the intensity of the family drama and the unfolding mystery. You're left with pressing emotional questions. What will be the full impact of the revelation? Who will react most intensely? Which family member will be most affected by the truth? Each final mini cliffhanger in this story creates a perfect hook for the sequel, ensuring peak audience attention, encouraging comments, likes, and interaction, while the secret about to be revealed remains an irresistible promise that no one can ignore. The atmosphere in the mansion reaches an almost unbearable point. You, the viewer, can feel the tension cutting through the air like a blade, each character carrying within them the weight of years of lies and silence. The heir, now fully alert, notices nuances in each family member's gestures that previously went unnoticed. The older sister, overcome by a mixture of fear and anger, hesitates before speaking, while the mother tries to maintain control, but her gaze reveals that everything is about to fall apart. Every visual and emotional detail heightens the sense that a monumental revelation is inevitable. The young woman, strategically calculating her every move, decides to drop a seemingly trivial piece of information that sends instant shockwaves. You realize the narrative has been carefully constructed. Every element planted in the previous sections now converges toward a pivotal turning point. The heir reacts with surprise and suspicion, trying to understand exactly what's happening, while every expression in the room is a mix of fear, curiosity, and distrust. You feel the tension build, maintaining engagement and retention. Mini cliffhangers emerge in quick succession. An object is accidentally dropped, drawing alarmed glances. A hesitant phrase sparks suspicion, and a heavy silence. An old memory is mentioned, but only partially, heightening the sense of mystery. You, the viewer, are thrust into the center of this drama, feeling every second of suspense and every emotional peak. Family drama stories. Emotional family dramas, dramatic family betrayals, shocking millionaire stories, and secrets revealed are once again seamlessly integrated, reinforcing SEO and connecting with audiences passionate about drama and mystery. The heir finally confronts the young woman directly, his firm voice laced with incredulity. "Why didn't you tell me this before?" Her calm and measured response doesn't reveal everything, but it gives enough clues to leave everyone in the room apprehensive. You realize the unexpected turn is complete. The balance of power within the mansion has shifted, trust has been shaken, and each character is now aware that what has been hidden for decades is about to emerge. As tension reaches its peak, the audience is taken on an emotional roller coaster. You can feel the drama in every gesture, every look, and every word. The sister, who until now had tried to control her emotions, finally shows a crack, a slight tremor, a suppressed sigh, a look that reveals everything. The heir, realizing that nothing will ever be the same again, tries to gather his thoughts, but the enormity of the situation leaves him paralyzed for moments. Every second is a calculated build of suspense and engagement, maintaining maximum retention. And it is at this moment, when the drama reaches its climax, that the narrative begins to reveal the secret. Small fragments begin to emerge, partially exposed documents, expressions that betray more than words, barely audible whispers between the characters. You, the viewer, sense that the plot is about to enter explosive territory, but there are still emotional barriers to overcome before the full truth is known. Every gesture of the young woman, every reaction of the heir, every hesitation of the sister and mother contribute to the construction of an almost unbearable suspense. The audience is left in a state of intense anxiety. Questions automatically arise in their minds. Who will be affected first by the revelation? Which family member is best prepared to handle the truth? And most importantly, what impact will each fragment of the secret have as it becomes clear? You feel like the narrative is about to explode, but it still maintains the suspense, ensuring engagement, commentary, and interaction. Who do you think will handle the truth best? The unexpected twist is now fully established. The emotional hierarchy within the family has been redefined. Secrets are about to be confronted, and each character is at their most vulnerable. You sense the rising tension, every second carefully planned to capture attention and maximize retention. The audience feels the anticipation of what will come in the next few moments, knowing that the full revelation of the secret promises to completely transform the course of the story. This thread sets the stage for the explosion that will occur in the following topics. A key object is partially uncovered, a document is touched without revealing everything, and the young woman watches impassively as each reaction around her builds suspense. You, the viewer, become aware that you are on the verge of the most dramatic revelation of all, creating a perfect mini cliffhanger that maintains engagement, commentary, and anticipation for the next segment. The silence in the mansion is now almost palpable, almost suffocating, as if the very air is holding its breath. You, the viewer, feel each moment of tension building like a wave about to break. The young woman approaches the fireplace, the flickering light dancing across her face, and in her hands she holds an ancient envelope, aged by time, and the secret it holds. She takes a deep breath, feeling the weight of what she's about to reveal, and you realize that every detail of the scene has been meticulously constructed to maximize drama, increase retention, and create engagement from the very first second. The heir watches every movement, his eyes wide, his body tense. He knows something gigantic is about to be exposed, but he still can't comprehend the magnitude of what's about to happen. You feel your anxiety rising because the narrative puts you directly in his mind, allowing you to experience his emotions firsthand. His sister, on the other hand, maintains a forced calm, but her trembling hands betray the fear she's trying to hide. His mother, trying to intervene with reassuring words, realizes that nothing she says will be enough to control the approaching avalanche of emotions. The young woman opens the envelope slowly, as if every second of suspense could heighten the impact of the revelation. Inside is an old, partially faded photograph showing someone identical to the young woman, but dressed in clothes from another era, with a face reminiscent of the heir. The shock is immediate. You, the viewer, realize that the first fragment of the secret has begun to alter everyone's perception. The existence of a hidden twin brother, a secret carefully guarded for decades, is now about to emerge. Every word, every facial expression, every gesture is intensely described, keeping the audience completely immersed. The heir, unable to control his breathing, mutters to himself, "This can't be real. It's impossible." The sister tries to approach, but is held back by a surge of caution, while the mother watches with wide eyes, knowing the revelation cannot be reversed. You feel the tension becoming almost tangible, as the script works every detail to heighten retention. Mini cliffhangers are strategically placed. The heir hesitates before touching the photo, the sister swallows, the mother makes an imperceptible gesture, and the young woman smiles discreetly, knowing the first layer of the secret has already caused enough shock. As the narrative unfolds, you notice how the family drama intensifies. The photograph, the envelope, and the young woman's gesture act as catalysts for an emotional domino effect. Each character begins to question what they knew, what they believed, and who really knew the truth. Family drama stories, emotional family dramas, dramatic family betrayals, shocking millionaire stories, and secrets revealed are seamlessly integrated into the text, boosting SEO, rankings, and engagement. Every sentence, every visual description, every psychological detail is designed to capture attention and increase viewing time. The heir finally approaches the young woman with a mixture of disbelief and urgency. Who is that?" She responds calmly, in a voice that blends authority and restrained emotion. "It's your twin, the one no one ever knew existed." You, the viewer, feel the immediate impact. The magnitude of the secret shakes not only the characters, but also the perception of everyone watching. The narrative continues to build tension, maintaining mini cliffhangers in every paragraph. The mother swallows hard. The sister lets out an involuntary sigh. The heir feels a lump in his throat, and everyone looks at the young woman with a mixture of fear, curiosity, and distrust. Small visual details continue to reinforce the narrative. The reflection of light on the marble floor, the trembling of hands, the intensity of the gaze, the way the envelope is held, every sound from the mansion, echoing through the silent room, reinforcing the emotional drama and psychological suspense. You, the viewer, are transported into the scene, feeling every second, every micro-expression, every emotional reaction of the characters. The script explores not only the shock of the revelation, but also the emotional impact on the family dynamic, shattered trust, emerging suspicion, pent-up tension. As the young woman begins to narrate the first fragments of her twin brother's story, small flashbacks are subtly introduced. Childhood memories, hidden letters, secret conversations, each carrying intense emotional weight. You notice how these elements heighten immersion. It's as if you're discovering the story alongside the characters, experiencing each emotion firsthand. Each mini cliffhanger serves to maintain suspense and attention, ensuring retention remains high. The heir, still processing the news, tries to connect the dots. Moments from the past, strange behavior, inexplicable family. Decisions. Everything now makes sense in a painful and surprising way. The sister, realizing the gravity of what is happening, finally allows her emotions to overflow. Tears well up, her voice trembles, and the emotional tension is palpable. The mother, trying to maintain her composure, realizes that the secret can no longer be contained, and her every gesture reveals fear and guilt. You, the viewer, feel the narrative penetrate deeply, creating an intense emotional connection and encouraging engagement through commentary and theories. They arise when the young woman mentions specific events only her twin brother knew, heightening the shock. Memories, objects, events that only someone close to her could know. You begin to notice how every detail in the script is strategically placed to maximize suspense, engagement, and retention. Each partial revelation heightens the anticipation, ensuring the audience stays glued to the screen. The dialogue between the characters is tense and nuanced. Emotionally charged words, meaningful silences, glances that convey more than any words. Viewers notice that the script focuses on both emotional drama and SEO. Keywords like family drama stories, emotional family drama, dramatic family betrayal, shocking millionaire story, and secret revealed appear naturally, boosting the video's visibility on YouTube. As this topic nears its end, you feel like the first layer of the secret has been fully revealed, but there's still much to discover. The tension remains high, with each character reacting uniquely, each gesture, each word, each sigh adding weight to the drama. You, the viewer, are encouraged to imagine the consequences. How will the heir react in the coming minutes? What will the sister's attitude be? Will the mother be able to handle the truth? Questions arise naturally, increasing comments, likes, and interaction. Who do you think will confront the twin first? You're left with an unbearable sense of anticipation. The partial revelation of the secret has created a profound emotional impact, and you realize the narrative isn't over yet. The young woman watches intently, awaiting reactions, while the mansion seems to pulse with the pent-up tension. You sense the next segment promising even more revelations and emotional shock, creating an irresistible hook that maintains retention and engagement and sets the stage for topics 8 and 9, where the secret will be fully exposed and the consequences fully explored. The entire mansion seems to hold its breath as the secret finally unfolds in all its magnitude. You, the viewer, feel the emotional weight of the moment as the narrative carefully constructed in the previous sections now reaches its climax. The young woman with a firm expression once again holds the old photograph and documents proving the existence of the heir's twin brother, and every detail of the scene is charged with tension. Every word she utters, every gesture, every look is designed to capture the audience's attention and hold their attention. Your twin. He was hidden for a reason, she begins, her voice deep and controlled, carrying the drama of decades of lies and secrets kept by the family. You, the viewer, feel the immediate impact of this revelation. What was once merely a suspicion now becomes an irrefutable truth. The heir, unable to fully process, takes a few steps back, eyes wide, body tense, mind spinning with the magnitude of the newly discovered information. Many cliffhangers follow. He hesitates to touch the documents, swallows hard. His sister tries to intercede and fails, and his mother, feeling the emotional ground crumble beneath her feet, can barely utter a word. The narrative details how the twin brother's identity was kept secret, a hidden birth, altered records, silenced witnesses, and a family pact that prevented any revelation. You sense the complexity of the drama, not only as a mystery story, but also as an intense emotional narrative, full of intrigue, betrayal, and psychological suspense. Each character now faces their own internal turmoil. Guilt, fear, anger, and despair intertwine, creating a whirlwind of emotions that the audience viscerally follows. The young woman continues, revealing specific details that shock everyone in the room at the magnitude of the secret. He was hidden not because of shame, but because of power, because revealing him could destroy everything your father built. You, the viewer, realize that the revelation goes deeper than a simple identity. It threatens the family's financial, emotional, and social stability, heightening the tension and suspense. Additional mini-cliffhangers occur with each new sentence. Suspicious glances, trembling hands, rapid breathing, each gesture amplifying the drama and maintaining engagement. The heir, still processing the information, finally finds the courage to speak, his voice trembling. How could this happen? The young woman responds with disturbing calm. Because everyone believed it was safer to lie, but the truth always finds a way. You can sense the impact of the words. The secret is not only a personal revelation, but an emotional bombshell that completely changes the family dynamic. The sister, fighting back tears, realizes that the family's emotional balance has been shattered, and the desperate mother tries desperately to protect her husband's reputation and the family's image, but it is already too late. Additional fragments of the secret are introduced with great narrative care. Medical records, old letters, forgotten photographs, and memories of the mansion's employees, all detailing the birth and concealment of the twin brother. Viewers feel as if each item is a piece of a puzzle that finally comes together, heightening tension and anticipation. Family drama stories, emotional family dramas, dramatic family betrayals, shocking millionaire stories, and secrets revealed are once again integrated seamlessly, boosting SEO and rankings without compromising the narrative's flow. As the revelation continues, the emotional impact intensifies. The heir realizes that all previous family decisions were influenced by lies and omissions. Every childhood memory, every significant event now takes on new meaning in light of the secret. You realize that the drama isn't just external. It penetrates deep into each character's psyche, transforming what seemed simple into a complex web of emotions and family conspiracies. Strategic mini-cliffhangers are placed. Hesitations, quick glances, held breaths, making it impossible for the audience to take their eyes off the screen. The emotional climax escalates when the young woman reveals the ultimate reason for her concealment. He was hidden to protect him, but also to control the empire your father built. Now, everything changes. You sense the magnitude of the revelation. It's not just a question of identity, but of power, wealth, and legacy. The tension increases exponentially Because the secret now has immediate consequences: disputes, resentment, and the possibility of irreversible ruptures. Each character's reaction is described in detail, from the initial shock to the internal struggle to accept or deny the truth. They continue frequently, ensuring that attention and retention remain high. You notice small bursts of tension, glances that cross the room, furtive whispers, restrained gestures, each element amplifying the dramatic narrative. The audience is encouraged to comment on their own theories, interact with the video, and imagine the next steps in the story. Who do you think will confront the twin first? Or do you believe the father's secret was justified? These questions increase engagement and comments, essential for organic growth on YouTube. As the narrative nears the end of Topic 8, the impact of the secret begins to sink in. The entire family feels the shift in emotional and social dynamics. The heir, still processing the information, makes impulsive decisions. The sister seeks to understand her own emotions, and the mother faces the inevitability that the truth can no longer be hidden. You, the viewer, feel the intensity of every decision, every emotion, every internal conflict, completely immersed in the drama. The young woman observes every reaction, knowing that truth has the power to liberate, but also to destroy. You can see that the narrative was constructed to maximize tension, suspense, and engagement, ensuring that every minute of the video maintains high retention and that the audience remains interested until the final climax. Small visual and auditory details reinforce the drama. Slow-moving shadows, reflections on the marble, ragged breaths, every gesture contributing to the cinematic and emotional experience. This thread ends with the secret completely revealed, but still leaving a sense of anticipation. The story isn't over, and the following threads will explore the emotional consequences, the confrontations, and the final climax, maintaining maximum engagement. You're left with the feeling that you've witnessed something monumental, but there are still unanswered questions, prompting comments, likes, and shares. What would you do if you were in their shoes? Or, who will handle the twins' revelation best? The air in the mansion feels heavy, charged with electric tension. You, the audience, feel every held breath, every glance piercing the room like invisible blades, while the twin brothers' revelation still reverberates in every corner. The young woman stands in the center, firm, almost motionless, but her eyes carry the intensity of everything that is about to unfold. You, the audience, sense that the drama is about to reach its climax. Nothing will be the same again. The heir, unable to immediately accept the magnitude of the secret, steps back, his trembling hands resting on the marble dining room table. You feel the hesitation, the internal conflict that consumes him. Every decision, every word now has the potential to unleash an emotional and social avalanche that could destroy the family stability built over decades. The tension mounts when he finally raises his voice, his intonation thick with a mixture of anger, disbelief, and fear. This changes everything. Meanwhile, the mother tries to intercede, but her own guilt paralyzes her. You realize that the fear and anxiety aren't just about reputation, but about the possibility of losing control over the family legacy. Mini cliffhangers constantly emerge, exchanged glances, hands trembling over crystal glasses, quick footsteps in the hallway, hushed whispers. Every detail is carefully crafted to keep you on your toes, making every second of the video indispensable. The young woman then pauses strategically, allowing the weight of the truth to sink in. She holds her twin brother, finally revealed, who remains partially hidden. In the shadows, watching the scene with a mixture of fear and curiosity, you, the viewer, sense the complexity of the moment. It's not just a revelation, but an inevitable confrontation between the family's past, present, and future. The psychological tension is palpable, almost tangible, as if you can feel the racing hearts and conflicting thoughts of each character. The heir, still trying to process the information, finally confronts his twin brother. Why now? Why after all these years? The answer is charged with emotion and mystery, because the truth cannot be hidden forever, and because some lies are too dangerous to keep. You realize that the narrative is not only about discovery, but also about justice, power, and emotional balance. Mini cliffhangers are placed in every sentence: hesitation, ragged breathing, suspicious glances, all keeping you engaged and unable to look away. Meanwhile, the older sister, who had been trying to maintain her composure until then, finally bursts into tears, revealing her own repressed emotions and inner conflicts. You, the viewer, feel the intensity of the situation. The family drama transforms into an emotional battlefield where every word, every gesture, and every silence counts. The narrative delves into feelings of betrayal, injustice, and shock, reinforcing family drama stories, emotional family drama, shocking millionaire story, dramatic family betrayal, secret revealed in a natural way, guaranteeing maximum SEO and retention. The mother, desperate, tries to soften the situation. We had our reasons. We were protecting him, protecting all of us. But her words ring hollow because you know, and the characters know too, that the truth has devastating power. Mini cliffhangers continue, with the atmosphere charged with tension. The mansion's soft lighting casts dramatic shadows. Every gesture is amplified, and every emotion is conveyed cinematically, keeping you fully engaged. The final twist begins to unfold when the heir discovers that his twin brother not only exists but also possesses evidence of manipulation and sabotage within his own family. You, the viewer, feel the immediate impact. The story that seemed to be merely about a hidden secret now turns into a direct battle for power, reputation, and emotional survival. Strategic mini cliffhangers are scattered throughout every exchange. Accusatory glances, nervous whispers, hands bracing themselves on heavy furniture, hurried footsteps through the luxurious hallways. The previously silent twin finally speaks with a firm voice. I've lived in the shadows, but now the world will know. Every deception, every lie, it ends today. You realize the narrative has reached a critical point. The tension is at its peak. The drama is unsustainable, and each character reacts intensely, reinforcing the audience's emotional engagement. The sequence of strategic mini cliffhangers, breaths, dramatic pauses, looks that communicate anger and fear, keeps the storyline high and sets the stage for the next topics. As the scene unfolds, visual and auditory details further amplify the drama. Creaking doors, echoes of footsteps in the hallway, reflections on crystal surfaces, whispers of family members trying to comprehend the magnitude of the secret. You, the viewer, feel the narrative as if you were inside the mansion, participating in the confrontation, increasing engagement and encouraging comments. Who do you think will side with the twin first, or will the family survive this revelation? The emotional tension intensifies even further when the heir finally realizes he can no longer control the situation alone. He looks to those present, seeking allies or justification, but realizes that every previous action is compromised. You feel the gravity of the moment, as the story has evolved from a simple family revelation to a true drama of power, mystery, and emotion, maintaining maximum attention and engagement. This topic ends by leaving you, the viewers, with your heart racing, completely absorbed in the drama, but with the feeling that the climax is still unresolved. You'll see in the next topics final confrontations, critical decisions, and the emotional outcome that will unfold. Questions arise. Who will confront the father first? Or what would you do if you discovered a secret this big? You, the viewers, are invited to comment, share theories, and interact, strengthening the drama and our channel. The tension inside the mansion has reached its peak, and you, the viewer, feel every second as if time was suspended. The luxurious yet shadowy setting reflects the character's emotional instability. Every detail, from the reflection of the crystal chandelier to the slight sway of the curtain in the wind, contributes to a sense of an imminent explosion of secrets and emotions. You realize that the family drama has reached a point where no lie can remain hidden, and that every action will have irreversible consequences. The heir, still stunned by his twin brother's revelation, feels betrayed, confused, and vulnerable. He stares at the brother he's hidden for so long and feels a mixture of disbelief and fear, not only at the existence of someone who could rival his power, but at the fact that the entire life he knew now seems built on a foundation of lies. You, the spectators, share the intensity of the moment. Every breath, every glance, every dramatic pause heightens the tension and reinforces the hold. The mother, until then trying to maintain some control, finally gives in to the weight of the truth. Her words carry both guilt and despair. I only wanted to protect you, all of you. But her intentions are not enough to erase the years of manipulation, and you realize that the conflict runs much deeper than simple revelations. It's a collision of ambitions, emotions, and carefully hidden secrets. Mini cliffhangers are placed in every exchange. Glances that meet, hands that tremble, footsteps that echo through the luxurious corridors. You feel the emotional magnitude in every movement and gesture. Meanwhile, the twin brother, finally revealed to the world, begins to expose his own narrative. Every detail of injustice, every silent manipulation, every secret he knew that could destroy the family. You, the viewers, realize that this isn't just a story about a hidden secret, but about family drama stories, shocking millionaire stories, dramatic family betrayals, emotional family dramas, secrets revealed, naturally connecting the content to the channel's SEO and increasing ranking and retention potential. The confrontation reaches its climax when the heir demands concrete answers. Tell me everything, now. Tension mounts as everyone awaits the full disclosure of the secret. You feel every second of suspense, the heavy silence before the verbal explosion, the trembling of each character, the rapid breathing, and the anxious glances that roam the room. The cinematic narrative is intensified by details, dramatic lighting that highlights faces, shadows projected on the walls, echoes that amplify each word. The emotionally involved older sister intervenes, revealing the complexity of family relationships, love, anger, jealousy, and loyalty intertwined. Viewers are led to reflect on how every human emotion is amplified when secrets are revealed, heightening the emotional impact and holding the audience's attention for crucial minutes. Continuous. Mini cliffhangers create an almost hypnotic rhythm, where every gesture or word triggers new questions and expectations. Who will support the twin? Who will remain loyal to the heir? The twin brother reveals irrefutable evidence of betrayal and manipulation within the family, including secret documents, hidden messages, and witnesses who corroborate his story. You notice that each revelation adds layers of tension, making the narrative deeper and more intense. The narrative blends mystery, drama, and suspense, aiming to keep viewers engaged and increase average viewer retention. A strategic SEO and engagement technique. The mother, feeling the pressure and weight of the moment, tries again to intercede, but her moral authority is in tatters. You, the viewer, sense that the family's emotional balance is about to crumble, and that the decisions made in this moment will define the future of each character. Strategic mini cliffhangers hold the attention, a dramatic pause before each sentence, looks that speak louder than words, gestures of despair or anger. The heir, in a moment of extreme vulnerability, realizes he must deal with the truth without resorting to the manipulation or lies that previously sustained his position. You sense the complexity of his emotional transformation, anger, regret, fear, and a need for justice or redemption. The narrative, full of emotional family drama, shocking family secrets, betrayal, and secret revelations, is strengthened by elements of psychological tension, keeping the audience fully immersed. As the revelation continues, the twin brother demonstrates strategic intelligence, showing how secrets could have quietly destroyed the family if not exposed. You realize that the drama is not just personal, but also financial, social, and psychological, amplifying the story's impact and making every moment crucial for retention. The final twist approaches when an unexpected ally, a trusted friend or previously neutral family member intervenes, offering a perspective that shifts the dynamic. Those who seemed to be allies now reveal themselves as enemies, and those who seemed vulnerable assume a position of power. You feel the unpredictability, the surprise, the suspense, all key elements for maximum engagement. Strategic mini cliffhangers ratchet up the tension, ragged breathing, quick footsteps, suspicious glances, shocked whispers. The topic concludes, leaving you, the viewers, in a state of maximum anticipation. The narrative of the climax and the final twist is almost complete, but the full resolution, emotional denouement, and final psychological impact are still missing, which will unfold in the next topic. Strategic questions for engagement are reinforced. Who will make the first move now? Or how will the family survive this shocking revelation? You are invited to comment, share theories, and interact with this drama. Tell us what you think so far. The atmosphere inside the mansion is almost suffocating. You, the viewer, feel the tension spreading like a heavy fog, enveloping every character, every corner of the room, every shadow cast by the crystal chandeliers. The twin brothers' secret, finally revealed, transforms the family dynamic irrevocably. Every breath, every gesture, every word echoes not only in the mansion but in your minds, making it clear that nothing will ever be the same again. The heir stares at his twin brother with a mixture of disbelief and fear, trying to comprehend how someone could exist for so long without his knowledge, yet still possess enough power to challenge the entire family structure. You feel the intensity of this conflict. It's the final confrontation between past, present, and future, and every emotion is heightened by the suspense and drama unfolding before your eyes. Strategic mini-cliffhangers keep you on edge. Tense glances, hands trembling on marble tables, measured footsteps in the hallway, rapid breathing. The mother, in a state of despair, tries to calm the situation, but realizes her words ring hollow in the face of the magnitude of the truth. She sighs deeply, her hands clasped together, while her eyes reflect guilt, regret, and fear of what is to come. You, the viewer, sense the complexity of the drama. It's not just a revelation, but an emotional collision that could forever shake the family's foundations. Her every gesture is charged with meaning. Every pause amplifies the suspense. The twin brother, now more confident and assertive, begins to expose in detail every secret, every injustice, and every manipulation he's uncovered over the years. You realize this isn't just a family drama, but also a tale of power, money, loyalty, and betrayal, naturally incorporating SEO keywords like family drama stories, shocking millionaire story, dramatic family betrayal, secret revealed, and emotional family drama to boost the video's YouTube rankings. Strategic mini cliffhangers emerge with every sentence. The audience feels the intensity of each revelation, increases retention, and becomes anxious for the outcome. Meanwhile, the older sister, previously silent, finally reacts. She feels a mixture of relief and fear, knowing that the truth has finally come to light, but also that the consequences are still unclear. You, the viewer, sense the psychological depth of the moment, conflicting emotions, difficult decisions, and inevitable confrontations that will keep all the characters on edge. Every look, every movement, every sigh is a mini cliffhanger that captures your attention, heightening your engagement. The heir, still trying to process everything, finally makes a crucial decision: directly confront those responsible for the manipulations or attempt to rebuild the family based on the now revealed truth. You, the viewer, perceive the magnitude of his choice. Each step could forever change family relationships, and the narrative reaches its peak of suspense and drama. Strategic mini-cliffhangers, doors that abruptly close, hurried footsteps down the hallway, accusatory looks, suppressed sighs, whispers that carry emotional tension. The twin brother, sensing his heir's hesitation, uses his own story of suffering to show how powerful the truth is, how every hidden lie has the potential to destroy more than just reputations. You can feel the intensity of this argument. The narrative connects emotion, drama, mystery, and suspense in a sequence that keeps the audience completely engaged. Integrated keywords naturally reinforce the video's optimization: shocking family secrets, betrayal, millionaire, secret revealed, emotional family betrayal. As the emotional confrontation continues, visual and auditory details further heighten the tension. Echoes of footsteps in the marble hallways, creaking doors, dramatic shadows cast by the chandelier, emotionally charged facial expressions. You, the viewer, are immersed in every detail, as if participating in the drama, increasing engagement and encouraging interactions in the comments. Who do you think will forgive first? Or who is truly to blame in this shocking family secret? The mother, observing her twin brother's determination, realizes she can no longer control the narrative. You sense that this revelation is both a liberation and a threat. The story she tried to protect for years now has the power to transform every life within the mansion. Many cliffhangers are set, accusatory looks, hands clenching into fists, shallow breaths, tense silences. Each moment keeps the audience guessing and reinforces audience retention. The climax's initial denouement is marked by a sequence of verbal and emotional confrontations that redefine power within the family. You realize the story goes beyond revelation. It's about justice, redemption, forgiveness, and, above all, the power of truth. Many cliffhangers continue. Hurried footsteps, shocked whispers, looks that convey fear or determination. Every detail keeps the audience engaged, increasing watch time and CTR for the video. As the tension begins to subside, inevitable questions arise. Who will take the lead in rebuilding the family? How will each character deal with the complete exposure of the truth? You, the viewers, are encouraged to comment, reflect, and theorize, increasing engagement and interaction with the channel. SEO and engagement strategies are integrated. Emotional questions, subtle cliffhangers, references to family drama stories, shocking millionaire stories, dramatic family betrayals. This topic concludes by leaving you, the viewer, emotionally impacted and completely absorbed by the story. The narrative has reached almost the entire climax and initial resolution, but there's still the final closure, lessons and consequences, which will be addressed in the final topic. The structure of intense drama, suspense, and integration ensures that the video maintains high quality, setting the stage for the final outcome. The tension that permeated the mansion finally begins to ease, but you, the audience, still feel the weight of the revelation, as if every shadow, every architectural detail, and every crystal reflection continues to carry the echoes of the truths now exposed. The heir, the mother, the older sister, and of course the twin brother all remain momentarily silent, absorbing the magnitude of what has been revealed. You realize that this is a moment of suspension, the before and after of their lives, and that every emotion is raw. Strategic mini cliffhangers keep the audience captivated. The distant clink of a crystal glass, a character's irregular breathing, the shuffling gait of someone unable to decide their next move. The twin brother, now fully integrated into the family narrative, looks around and observes not only the tense faces, but also the echoes of the past each one carries. You, the viewer, realize that the tension doesn't end with the revelation. It transforms into introspection, reflection, and above all, the need to rebuild. His every gesture, a look, a slight movement of the hand, a deep sigh, is charged with emotion and meaning, keeping the audience engaged and engaged. SEO keywords like family drama stories, shocking millionaire story, dramatic family betrayal, secret revealed, emotional family drama remain naturally integrated into the narrative, strengthening the video's rankings. The mother finally finds her voice, but this time, unlike before, she doesn't try to hide or manipulate. Her words carry sincerity, guilt, and a silent plea for forgiveness. I only ever wanted to protect you, all of you. But I see now that truth cannot be silenced. You realize that the narrative goes beyond family drama. It's about redemption, regret, and understanding. Mini cliffhangers are placed in every pause, intersecting glances, tense breaths, hands clenched in emotional gestures. Every detail maintains maximum audience. Engagement. The heir, still processing the impact, begins to reevaluate his priorities and his perception of power, wealth, and family. You, the viewer, realize that he is on the threshold of a transformation, from an individual who trusted only superficial structures to one who understands the complexity of human relationships and the weight of truth. Strategic mini cliffhangers appear, glances at his twin brother, moments of dramatic silence, gestures that indicate hesitation, almost as if each movement could trigger a new twist. Meanwhile, the older sister demonstrates courage, taking emotional responsibility and seeking to reconcile family ties. She looks at the others and says firmly and emotionally, "We have to face this together, or all of us will lose more than we've already lost." You, the viewer, feel the intensity of this moment, a mix of hope, tension, and unpredictability. Every gesture, every dramatic pause, every mini cliffhanger holds the audience's attention and increases watch time, solidifying the audience's engagement. The twin brother, realizing that the path to reconciliation will be difficult, suggests concrete measures to restore trust. Open conversations, reviews of the family's financial and social decisions, and a sincere commitment to honesty. You, the viewer, realize that these actions go beyond superficial drama. They connect emotionally with the audience, showing that even the wealthiest and most powerful families face universal challenges of trust, loyalty, and truth. Keywords like secret revealed, emotional family betrayal, and dramatic family betrayal are naturally incorporated, boosting the video's SEO and rankings. As the narrative nears its conclusion, the mansion's mood gradually shifts. The intense drama gives way to moments of quiet reflection, gestures of reconciliation, and glances that express complex emotions: regret, forgiveness, fear, and hope. You, the viewer, feel every nuance, every small shift in expression, every detail of the setting that reinforces the emotional climate. Mini cliffhangers still appear: the touch of a hand, a look that communicates more than words, whispers that echo like promises of change. The narrative then presents a moment of powerful symbolism. The family gathered in a softly lit room, talking about the future, trying to redefine bonds and establish a new order based on truth and understanding. You realize the importance of this moment. It's an emotional resolution that offers closure, but also leaves room for reflection. Keywords like family drama stories, shocking millionaire story, and emotional family drama boost SEO without detracting from the text's natural flow. The mother proposes a gesture of reconciliation, suggesting that each family member share their perspectives and regrets. You, the viewer, notice how each voice becomes crucial. Each story, each emotion, each confession contributes to the outcome and keeps the audience engaged. Strategic mini cliffhangers maintain the tension. Dramatic pauses, looks of those still doubting, held breaths, gestures that reveal hidden emotions. The twin brother, finally feeling accepted but still wary, shares his own vulnerability, explaining how years of secrecy have affected him. You feel every word, every gesture, every emotional nuance. It's a cathartic moment that strengthens the audience's connection with the characters and increases retention. Natural SEO is maintained. Secret revealed, dramatic family betrayal, emotional family drama, shocking family secrets. The heir, realizing the depth of the impact, approaches his twin brother and offers a hand of reconciliation. You, the viewer, realize that this is the final turning point: the acceptance of the truth, the willingness to move on, and the promise of rebuilding. Subtle mini cliffhangers, the touch of the hand, the steady gaze, the dramatic silence that communicates more than words. As the family finds some balance, questions arise that encourage engagement. Who do you think will lead the family forward? Or which secret still has the power to change everything? You are invited to comment, share theories, and interact, increasing engagement and video viewing time, while the narrative concludes strategically and emotionally. The video concludes with a sequence of scenes showing small moments of hope and rebuilding. Shy laughter, knowing glances, gestures of support, and scenes of the mansion that once symbolized tension, now reflecting the potential for a new beginning. You, the viewer, feel the emotional transition, from shock and suspense to reflection and hope, maintaining the narrative's impact and ensuring the video is memorable. The final CTA is strategic and emotional. If this shocking family secret moved you, leave a comment telling us who you think is telling the truth. Like this video to support our channel, and subscribe for more family drama stories that will leave you on the edge of your seat. You are encouraged to stay engaged, share opinions, and interact, strengthening retention and engagement signals for the algorithm. Important keywords are reinforced again: family drama stories, shocking millionaire story, dramatic family betrayal, emotional family drama, secret revealed, ensuring that SEO is maximized, both for niche reach and broader discovery, increasing the potential for virality. Final mini cliffhangers hold the attention until the last second. Final glances, subtle gestures of resolved tension, deep breaths, and a slight suspenseful movement that suggests that even with the truth revealed, the family's life will still face challenges. The ending leaves you, the viewers, emotionally impacted, engaged, and eager to watch the next episodes of the Echoes of the Past channel. cementing audience loyalty and encouraging subscriptions, comments, and shares. The narrative achieves its goal of engaging and retaining you completely, making the video more than just a powerful story.